Ladies and gentlemen, we also have another video here. Now, this is a video that I've seen kind of been going over Twitter. A lot of people have been talking about it. And, well, that's because there's a big name in it, and that is Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg made a video using a um, terrible camera. I don't know, shot with Quest 3 mixed reality pass through. I don't know. Quality is pretty darn bad. It's nothing insane. But he's sitting here on a couch, right? He's sitting here on a couch and he is giving his full on review, just like a tech interviewer, his full on review of the Apple Vision Pro. Now, I haven't watched this. I've read a tiny bit about it, but I haven't watched this. So I kind of want to watch it and see what he has to say about it, right? Because he did a full-on regular person interview, nothing insanely fancy at all. Just a regular interview of, or not interview, a regular review of the Apple Vision Pro. And he talks brutally honest too. So let's take a look here and see. I'm very curious to see what he has to say. We got 3.5 minutes here. Let's see. I'm very curious to see what he has to say.
All right, guys. So I finally tried Apple's Vision Pro. And, I have to say that before this, I expected that Quest would be the better value for most people since it's really good and it's like 7 times less expensive. But after using it, I don't just think that Quest is the better value. I think that Quest is the better product, period. And, the different companies made different design decisions for the headsets. They have different strengths.
So first of all, I want to go out. He's already going crazy, right? He's already going crazy with this, man. He's like, not only is it 7 times less expensive, it's also, I believe, the better product, right? Like, he's already going ham out the gate, dude. This guy's going, whoo, he's on fire. Half man, half lizard. He's already on fire because he is technically right that it is, way cheaper right out the gate, right? I mean, the Quest 3 or whatever the heck this is, right? Yeah, the Quest 3 is not $3,500 like the Apple Vision Pro.
But overall, Quest is better for the vast majority of things that people use mixed reality for.
And this is the big point because we're not talking just, consumer. We're talking like tech aspects here, which is what he's about to get into because he believes that the Quest 3 does a lot of technical stuff way better than the Apple Vision Pro. So let's see.
Now, my friend Kenny is actually capturing this video on Quest's high-resolution mixed reality pass-through right now. We're just here in my living room, and you can see his browser windows and whatever else he's got running up here. So yeah, Quest 3 does high-quality pass-through with big screens, just like Vision Pro. But we also designed it to be great for a lot of other things, moving around, playing games, hanging out with friends and socializing, working out, and more. Quest, I think is just a lot more comfortable. We designed it to weigh 120 grams less, which makes a really big difference on your face. There's no wires that get in the way when you move around. It's a big deal.
Does anyone have a Quest 3? Anybody in chat, do you guys have a Quest 3 or no? Because I'm genuinely curious what you guys think of it. I will say though that I think it's better visually, like appealing. The Apple Vision Pro, seeing people in real life with it, walking around with it, I think it's more visually appealing than the Quest 3. People walking around with the Quest 3, I think it's a little bit better in that manner. But obviously that's just the looks, not really the functionality. I got a Quest 2, really. Bro, I've never had a VR headset. I've only worn a VR headset once for maybe 5 minutes. That's it. I would love a VR headset, and I'd love to play some games and do some things in VR. I would love it.
Our field of view is wider, and I found our screen to be brighter also.
Really? Brighter screen on the Quest 3 and a wider field of view. Meta Quest 3 FOV. Let me look at this. Meta Quest 3, 110 degrees. Apple Vision Pro FOV. Apple Vision Pro FOV is approximately about 100 degrees. So it's about 10 degrees wider FOV on the Quest 3. Okay. No VR headset with the AR with the new AR stuff. Probably will pick one up soon. Yeah, I do too. I want to. I would love to pick one up, but the Apple Vision Pro is way too much, man. Way too much. I'm excited when you get it, then you eventually don't use it. Lol. Oh yeah, I mean, oh yeah, it's gonna be something that's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna use it like crazy, and then it's gonna kind of just sit there, right? It's gonna kind of just sit there. I mean, it's yeah, it's possible, you know, it's possible, but again, it depends on how much it is, right? Because it could be a stream investment, you know. I have to kind of check stuff out with that. Um, but it's exciting when you get it. Then you eventually don't use it. I don't have the a room for a full VR experience, but a virtual workspace would be cool. Yeah, me neither. Me either. I've never used one. Really.
I also noticed that Apple's headset has this motion blur as you move around, which Quest is just a lot crisper. Now, Apple's screen
Motion blur. Really interesting. A motion blur. I will say though, before he talks about the screen here, and I was going to mention that earlier, I think the screen, the lenses in the Apple Vision Pro are way higher quality than the Quest 3 though.
does have a higher resolution.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. But I was surprised by how many trade-offs they had to make to the quality of the device and the comfort and ergonomics and other aspects of the display and artifacts in order to get to that. Now, for input, Quest supports precision controllers that are great for games. Both headsets support hand tracking, but I found ours to be a little more accurate. Apple's eye tracking.
Really? Wait, really? Really? So he found, you know how with the Apple Vision Pro, you can sit there and be like, you just see people doing like this and like moving windows across the Apple Vision Pro, right? You've seen people doing that. I am very curious. He states that he found his to do better. Now, I don't know what the hand controls look like on the Quest 3. I do know that they have the controls, which technically, yes, again, you can play video games with it, right? You can play video games with the two controllers, the dual controllers. Whereas the Apple Vision Pro, you can't. I mean, you can't. There's no controllers that you have with it. Maybe they'll add a controller in the future for $7,000, as an accessory. But for right now, you only got your fingers. But even then, the finger, I would imagine, like it's kind of limited, right? If you're typing on the Air keyboard, you can't just sit there and type 100 words a minute, right? It probably doesn't follow along with that. So I'm very curious, but that's fascinating that he finds that the at least the hand control gestures work better on the Quest 3. Very fascinating. What up, Victor, by the way? Interesting. This just in, the CEO of Meta thinks that the VR headset sold by Meta has a better tracking than its competitors. I have a Rift S and a Quest 2. Guess where they are? In the closet. Yeah, but I mean, it kind of depends on like what you do, whether you use the headsets or not, right? It really depends on what you do with it. For me, I could get use out of it because I can use it for stream, right? And we could do a special, if you guys see me play squad, but what if you guys see me play a VR shooter game or whatever? Or what if I can live stream from the headset and I can walk around outside and wander through the woods using the headset, right? Like, imagine just I have a bit more of a use for it, so it really depends on what your use for it is. You know what I mean? So I'm curious. I do love this though. I'm absolutely loving this real life personalized review of this stuff. I love this. I love it. That's awesome.
Is really nice. We actually had those sensors back in Quest Pro. We took them out for Quest 3. Nice. We actually hacking, but I found ours to be a little more accurate. Apple's eye tracking is really nice. We actually had those sensors back in Quest Pro. We took them out for Quest 3, and we're going to bring them back in the future.
Oh, they're going to bring back the eye tracking thing in the future. Okay.
It's a nice
the
interface.
Next one, probably.
It's not perfect for everything, though. For typing or complex tasks, you're going to want things like hands or a keyboard or controllers or eventually a neural interface for those kind of inputs.
Yeah. Again, what he means by like the neural interface here is kind of like the Elon Musk brain chip, right? That allows you just to think of like what you want to type basically, and it'll type it, right? That's kind of like what he means by that, because that would go hand in hand, right? Where you just have the headset on, you can see it, and you just want to say like, oh, hey, yo, I'll go get the milk. Sorry, it's been 3 years, and you just got to think that in your brain and it'll type it rather than you having to type it manually. So, last person to use my Quest 2 was my cousin for Gorilla Tag. Yeah, Gorilla Tag became very popular. Very, very popular. Quest, I think, is like a very great tool for like young individuals, ADHD.
Quest's immersive content library is a lot deeper. We've been working with studios building virtual and mixed reality games and other content for a long time now.
Right, exactly. And that's a great point. They've been doing this for a long time now. It's been something that has happened and been doing for a long time, right? Where obviously the Apple Vision Pro just came out, I mean, a week or two ago, right? Like, I mean, it hasn't been out for very long. So of course they're gonna have a much more extensive library. I'll be right back. I have to run some errands real quick. All right, sounds good, blog. Sounds good, dude.
And if you want to watch YouTube or play Xbox on a big screen anywhere you go, that's only available on Quest for now. So, when I look around, it seems like there are a lot of people who just assumed that Vision Pro would be higher quality because it's Apple and it costs $3,000 more. But, honestly, I'm pretty surprised that Quest is so much better for the vast majority of things that people use these headsets for with that price differential. Now, look, I know that some fanboys get upset whenever anyone dares to question if Apple's going to be the leader in a new.
Some fanboys. He said it. He said it. I did. I love this interview here. I love this. Is the most down to earth thing any giant big name in this world could ever do right here. I love this. But I do want to mention though, is that again he talks about the price point again. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive than the Quest. The Quest has been around a lot longer. It's a lot more consumer friendly price tag. And he's talking about a lot more similar things you can do. And honestly, based on this, I would not be surprised if the net now hopefully I am right. I would not be surprised that the next VR headset that they make, the next Quest or whatever that they make, Meta does, is going to be a banger. If we're talking they up the resolution of the lens and they have a bunch of the features that the Apple Vision Pro has, and just makes it better, dude, oh my God, man, brother man, Meta is gonna lead the game here. It's gonna man. So I think this next headset that they make will probably be a wicked banger, and it will probably not be $3,000. Oculus for games, Apple Vision Pro for whatever. Not gonna lie, true. Oculus is a little bit more for games and stuff like that. And the Apple Vision Pro is, I think, with a better, higher quality resolution. It's better for like watching movies, probably. Better for watching movies, probably YouTube, 4K YouTube and stuff like that. Probably a bit better for that for sure. But I think, not to mention, there's no cable, right? He mentioned that the fact that you can use it without a cable, which the Apple Vision Pro has a cable that comes down the side of the headset, which we've talked about on stream, by the way. That is a special cable that goes to the power bank, and that cable's always exposed. If that cable gets cut, ripped, whatever, you can't just buy another cable. That's an Apple specific cable that isn't separate. You got to buy a brand new battery for it because they don't make the batteries reusable for it because they Apple specific it, meaning that you got to spend $200 on another Apple Vision Pro battery just because the cable broke, which the cable is the most vulnerable thing on the entire headset, in my opinion. It's the widest out, it's the widest length, it's literally crawling across your body. Like, dude. And they made it a specific design, just like they did with the lightning port on their phones before they had to forcefully change it to USB-C. It's just Apple doing Apple things to make you spend more money. But I think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely terrible that the cable for it is made specific for it. Not to mention, it's okay that it's made specific for it, but it's not interchangeable. You have to buy an entirely new battery pack. That's terrible.
Anyone dares to question if Apple's going to be the leader in a new category. But the reality is that every generation of computing has an open and a closed model. And yeah, in mobile, Apple's closed model won. But it's not always that way. If you go back to the PC era, Microsoft's open model was the winner. And in this next generation, Meta is going to be the open model, and I really want to make sure that the open model wins out again. The future is not yet written. So, I want to take a moment to just thank everyone who's been building with us for more than a decade. That goes for both Quest and the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, which are doing way better than I even hoped that they would. As the old saying goes, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So, I'll see you all out there.
Ray-Ban, really? I didn't know that Ray-Ban was from Meta. I did not know that. I seen advertises for those all over the time, all over the place. Um, I seen those all over the place. Those are the AR, um, uh, the AR, alternate reality smart glasses. I didn't know that was from Meta though. I did not know that. Interesting. The website's right here. Wait, let me see though. Just because sometimes these websites just are like, oh hey, we can ship to this address, and it's like, bro, you're doxing me. So let me double check and make sure. I think we're good. I think we're good here. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. All right, cool. So that was that review, right? And these are the Ray-Ban glasses. These are the AR glasses in partnership with Meta. And it's got a bunch of different things, right? So you can capture high quality photos and videos, 12 megapixel camera and immersive audio recording, right? You can call Meta AI, you can listen, you can live stream. And all it is a pair of glasses, right? It's just a pair of glasses. That you can that you just wear, and it's AR. And I mean, yeah, obviously these were not taken with the glasses. There ain't no way that these pictures were taken with those glasses. But I mean, it's really cool, right? It's really, really cool. So you got a power switch, you got a capture button, you got a touchpad, and you got speakers that are kind of built into it too as well. I mean, yeah. I mean, really, really cool. I would say really, really cool. Honestly, I wouldn't be against buying one of these, just to try it. That's why we all need to use USB-C, not the company's own cable that you can't find anywhere else. Yeah, exactly. But that's what these companies do. And I think Apple is probably, in my opinion, the most famous company for gatekeeping stuff like that. Them making cables that are specific for their devices because they don't want you to buy competitors. They want you to get all the money, right? So I think that's kind of why again I think that Apple has like a bit of that monopoly there, right? So how much are they? These glasses are can I show this on stream? Let me see it. Let me just, again, dude, sometimes these websites are just like, oh yeah, we can ship right to this zip code or right to your address, and it's like, brother, why are you doxing me, man? Holy God. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, right here. So here's some of the prices of them, right? The most expensive. Yeah, I mean the most expensive being $379. It seems like the most expensive is like $379 for these, but the bottom is like $300 basically for these. Buffering again, ain't no way. 17 seconds. Bro, this is all right. But for the recording, anyways, I thought I would throw this out here, and I thought this was quite interesting for you guys to see and witness. And let me know what you guys think about this review here by Mark Zuckerberg and all that. You guys, you let me know what you think. All right.